So we're going to take a look at Cougar Path C, problems 1, 2, and 3 right now. If we take a look at problem 1, you can see that those are two binomials. That problem has already been factored, so what we're going to do is we are going to unfactor it. We're going to take this negative 4h and distribute it to both of these. We're going to multiply both. So we would get negative 12h squared, and we would get negative 28h. Then we're going to take this positive 2 and distribute that. And it's going to give us 6h and 14. Typically, our middle two terms are going to combine, which these do as well. And our final product will be negative 12h squared. And then we have a negative 28 and a positive 6. So that'll give us negative 22h plus 14. And that would be this whole thing multiplied out. And when it says FOIL, that's just a trick. It's a little bit outdated, but it's really just talking about multiplying the first ones, the outer ones, the inner ones, the last ones, so that you don't forget anybody. But if you just distribute the way that I did, you should be just fine. Let's take a look at that second problem. If we're factoring out a GCF, basically what we're looking for is what are 25 and 35 both divisible by, and I said divisible, sorry. What are they both divisible by? And also, what are w to the 6th and w to the 3rd divisible by? Well, I can break down 25 into 5 times 5, and I can break down 35 into 7 times 5. And then there are 6 w's. I'm going to write those up and down because I ran out of room. And there are 3 w's on this one. What I'm looking for is what do they both have in common? So I'm going to circle the things that they have in common and take them out. That'll be our GCF. So they both have a 5, and they both have 3 w's. So my GCF is 5w to the 3rd. Now, if it was just asking me for the GCF, then I would just say 5w to the 3rd was, but it says factor it out. So what I'm going to do is write my parentheses, and whatever is left, like 5w, and 7 are left. So I would write 5w to the 3rd plus 7. If you think about it, if I redistributed this 5w to the 3rd, I would end up with exactly what I started with, and that's the goal of factoring out a GCF. Now, a lot of times you can go faster than that and you don't need to write out all the factors, but that is a sure bet. Let's take a look here at number 3. In number 3, since my a is 1, we're going to be able to kind of take a little shortcut here. We're looking for the factors of negative 48 that add to positive 2. So negative 48, let's think about all the things that multiply to that. 1 times 48, I'm going to worry about the negatives later. 2 times 24, 3 times 18, is that right? I don't have a calculator. 16. 3 times 16, 4 times 12. All right, so I know that one of them has to be negative. Let's think about which one could possibly get us to 2. I don't think we're there yet, are we? Let's move on to 6. Does 6 go into 48? Yes, it does. 6 times 8. That's the one we're looking for. Now, if they're going to add to a positive 2, that means that the positive one should be the bigger one. So negative 6 will be my negative 1. If a was something other than 1, we'd have more steps at this point. But since a is just 1, what I'm going to do is I'm going to write d minus 6, and I got that 6 from right here, and then d plus 8. That is how I'm going to factor that one. Since a is 1, it becomes a lot easier.